Hey everyone, welcome back to another exciting episode of Tech and Productions. Today I'm Bancroft and bring you another, it's a 21 deck profile. It should be the last one unless they bring out some really cool new 21 support. I was going to make the 18 build, but I think I saw someone had already done it and it was practically 95% the same deck I was going to build, which uses the 5-drop freezer. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to make a super duper aggro version of the self-controlled 21. So like always, there's buttons. Feel free to click them. They're there for a reason. All right, 21. Great thing about 21 is that as long as you have a multicolored card and your energy in your life is 6 or less, you can awaken right then and there. If for some reason you can't see a multicolored card by the time your life is down to like 3, just scoop because you can't awaken unless you have a multicolored card in your energy. And when this card attacks, you draw 1 card. The problem is that once you awaken, you lose the ability to draw 1 card, but you gain something a little bit better in the long run. You can't play battle cards energy cost 6 or more, which kind of hurts. But the auto once return, when a card in energy is placed in the drop area by one of your skills, draw 1 card, then choose one of your blue-green multicolored cards in your drop area, add it to your energy and rest mode. At the start of your opponent's next main phase, you can choose choose up to 1 blue-green multicolored card and switch it to active mode. So not only do you get a draw off that, but you also get the ability to tap out during your turn just to restand 1 energy during your opponent's turn. And with being blue, blue has plenty of ways of restanding energy. Now, granted, if you're playing against a deck that has silver bullets, I guess sucks to be you. Hasn't happened to me yet, so yay. All right, 21. In my honest opinion, if you're playing 21, you got to play Super 17. It's your go-to charge card. Turn 1, you can charge it just fine because this permanent ignores energy exhaust if your leader is 21. You will never play the activate main because you're never going to get up to 7 energy unless you're playing against the Zamasu deck, which I played against that earlier today, and I was able to use this ability, which was very weird, but it worked out. Turn 1 plays is your Searcher. Android 18 speed substitution. Search top 5 cards of your deck. Pull 1 blue or green Android card to your hand. Then shuffle your deck. And then you get the ability to switch out one of your multicolored energies back to your hand and place another card into your rest mode. The problem is that you don't want to do that unless you charge like an Android 16 card that you had to charge in turn 1 or something like that. Then you bring that back and play the 17 or play another blue card and then play the 17 later. But I'm never ever going to use that ability if you have the right card in your energy. Speaking of Android 16, the go-to card once you awaken is this guy. Because activate main, you can free play him by pitching one of your blue-green energies to your drop area, which then procs the leader's ability to draw 1 card and restand 1 energy. It's a free 15k, not bad. And when you pitch an energy, you free play this 16, which is a blocker. Now, granted, you only have 1 on the board, but it's a 10k blocker. I mean, you can't go wrong with blockers. Just in case I cannot find enough of the new start, I do play 2 of the Android 17s, which is a beautiful card. For 2 energy, you can play this card using the activate main. You can take a life if you need to, but the activate main once returned, where you place 1 blue-green color energy in your drop area, choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards and KO it. So as long as that card doesn't have barrier, bye-bye.
Cool. That card's so good.
It comes in clutch a lot. There is a reason to bump up to 3 if need be.
It's worth it.
Definitely, if you play best of 3s, have an extra one in your sideboard. So, I'm going to go to the super combos. The first super combo I play is Vegeta Disciplined Warrior. So, as long as you have a blue leader, all your energy is blue, 4 or less life, you bottom deck a card, draw 2 cards, plus 10k power. The problem with this deck, originally, was that I always felt like, well, it wasn't always, but a lot of times, my hand would get really low. It would never be an issue except for maybe 1 or 2 games. So I wanted to change deck from here on out. And the next super combo I'm playing, yes, I'm aware, doesn't draw many cards, but it goes into a more defensive package. So I play Zamasu's Sacred Disbelief, which is a blue-yellow super combo. It taps one of your opponent's battle cards, or Leader, which is pretty clutch if your opponent forgets about that. And we use blue and yellow to play Son Goku, hit, which is a beautiful blocker for 1 energy rival. And activate battle once returned, you can restand this card. So you can play it, you can swing, activate battle, restand it, pass turn, and you have a blocker twice on your board. Or if you just want to push, you can swing it twice, your opponent swings on you, you activate battle to restand it, and then you have a blocker after that. Now, this isn't obviously the only yellow cards I play in this deck. This is a tricolor deck. And with this deck, I actually don't need to charge any yellows at all, which is beautiful. So the next yellow card is actually a yellow-green card, which I only use this card as a combo piece because it's free to combo with as long as your leader is yellow, or, here's the kicker, Android card. Reduce combo cost of this card by 1. I'm never going to play this. I actually had an opportunity to play it today while I was just free playing today because I was playing Zamasu and they pushed all my cards in my energy, so I had yellow energy there. I was like, hey, I could do this, but you're never going to play it. If you do, for some reason, do have a yellow energy, you can use this effect to search off the 4-drop Android 13 and play it, but why do that when you could just arrival it? For 1 green energy, which, if you remember at the beginning of the turn, we charge Super 17 because it's the ideal card to charge. But it is a double strike. It is unique, but at the start of your... I'm saying a but a lot. I gotta stop that. At the start of your opponent's turn, they choose 2 of their battle cards and KO them. So you got plenty of blockers, you got plenty of defense. Now you have a card that's constantly get rid of opponent's cards, and mix that with the 17 I called out earlier. You should be able to keep your opponent's board pretty clear, unless obviously they're playing barriers. Now, in case that's not enough yellows, I play 3 of the Son Goku Saiyan Instincts, which is what helps me keep my hand pretty high. So this is a good card to combo off turn 1 if I really need to. It's definitely a combo card for the Son Goku hit. And then pay 2 energy just to draw 2, activate the main of Android 16 to free play after I already tap my energy. So you see where this is going at. There is another card I play in this deck which helps me draw a lot, which is my Overrealm. Because we're always restanding an energy beginning of my opponent's turn. If not 1, maybe 2. And then why not just use the cards in my drop to play stuff? So it allows me to draw 2 cards. You do have to discard 1 card afterwards. But typically, if I can make it happen, I have no problem discarding that. Or maybe a card that's not really handy at the time. So that's all the yellow. That's all the extra draw support I have in this deck. The next couple cards are going to be kind of like the tech options. I chose to go with 2 of Abuni. Definitely could go up to 3. But it's a 20k that plays 3 tokens that are 15ks with 5,000 combo power. This card cannot be KO as long as you have active image tokens on board. And the activate main, if your opponent reveals top card of the deck, if it's a battle card, you get this resend 1 blue energy at the beginning of your opponent's turn. So that's how we can potentially stand 2 energy. And with all this energy standing and maybe going into my opponent's turn with 3 open energy, play Hit Deadly Vanguard. I don't play Unisons in this deck. This deck is meant to just kind of flood the board as quick as possible with a lot of defensive options while pushing its opponent. So Hit Daily Vanguard, it counterplays a 5-drop card being played, and then the auto sends another 5 or less card back to my opponent's hand. So giving him 2 cards is always nice. Those are kind of the tech options. I mean, next is kind of a couple standard blue cards, like, you got your Senzu Bean, 1 energy, restands 2 energy, gain 5,000 power to a card until end of turn. Dimension Magic, pay 1 energy, restand 2 energy, or take a life if you have Sparking 5, which could happen if I needed to. Alright, next is the Chilled Army Reinforcements. I love this card. Because a lot of times I'll be okay going down to 5 life, being defensive, and then choosing to negate with this, which plays a 10,000 power token with blocker until end of turn. So that's the kicker. If you don't use that blocker or that token for that turn, you lose out on it, kind of, because you can't combo with it. It has no combo power at all. It's just a 10,000 power. If you want to swing with it, you have to combo something out of your hand just to get the hit off. So keep in mind that blocker is only for the turn and not the rest of the game. And you can do, like I said, you can do it for free if your life is 5 or less. The next option, where the Son Goku Vegeta negates the attack. You play this card in rest mode. If your leader card is blue and you place this card in rest mode at the bottom of your owner's deck, when your opponent attacks a leader card, choose to 1 of your leader cards and it gains 5,000 power per turn. So it's kind of like a Senzu Bean. Pay 1 energy, negate it. Your opponent's like, okay, cool. Either they're going to waste attack on here, or they're going to swing my leader and I'll go ahead and proc the auto, put it at the bottom of my deck, and then my leader's now 20k instead of 15k. So they have to do a little bit extra pressure just to hit me. And last but not least is a secret rare. Some of you all mentioned to me that, hey, baby, Hatchet's an option. You can't play it, but the counterattack will still go into effect. All of that will still happen. And then once the card goes to play, it cannot be played, so it goes into the drop instead. Because the leader, you can't play 6 or more battle cards. So, Hatchet, it stops battles, it stops your opponent's turn. The end. I mean, what else did I say?
If you could push your Awaken to turn 3 and then bait your opponent into attacking, play Hatch, and then Awaken.
Yeah, I mean, you can also play this 16 arrivals as long as you play them before you Awaken as well.
Mm-hmm.
You just gotta know what strategy you're trying to play against. Know the decks you're up against is the main thing. And if you think you could hold off onto that point, go right ahead. Sometimes you see Hat Check early on to be able to pull it off. Sometimes you don't. So, with that being said, that is Self-Control 21. Like I said, this may be the last 21 deck profile. I know, finally. Gosh, you've done 3. So with that being said, thank you all for tuning in. And like always, read your cards, know your plays, and fluff out.